Boy, you know what time it is.
Welcome to the Bromigos podcast.
I need it!
Hey, how are you?
This is amazing.
What's up, brothers? Special teams, special plays, special players. Welcome to the Bromigos podcast. It's your boy Daint. Money, you already know what's good. What's popping? I'm here with the bros.
Yeah, it's Hoochie. I don't watch sketch at all.
You should.
I don't get it.
Wait. So wait, I have to explain something to me. Hello, it's the Undercover Brother. How's everybody doing? What's with the name this week? I gotta know what the lore is.
So there's a streamer named Sketch.
Okay.
Definitely on the spectrum. He says he's not, but he when he does his stream, he streams Madden. He plays Madden. He's a big Texans fan. So
okay, so he's definitely autistic.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Everybody got a touch of autism out here.
No, he does this thing where whenever he plays, he's like, "What's up, brothers? Special teams, special players, special plays." Tuesday. I'm telling you, gotta watch it. It's I don't even know why I find it funny, but it's hilarious.
Listen, I know guys like Kai Sennett are unhinged. I know guys like I Show Speed are definitely unhinged. But I gotta look this guy up. I don't even like Madden all that much, but I gotta look this up.
He's been like the hot topic all week. Sketch.
Yeah,
it's weird that I haven't heard about him because I'm usually pretty in tune with the streaming stuff.
Man. They even got like the professional sports teams doing like they have like the media person go to a player and be like, "What's up, brother?" And the funny thing is like none of the black dudes know what the hell they're going on.
Of course, none of the black dudes.
They'll be like they did it with Ja Morant, and girl was like, "What's up, brother?" And he was like, "What's up?"
No, he did it with John Moran. He was like, "What's up?"
Oh no! I was saying if he was waiting for the gun, he'd be like, "Yeah, what's up? Homie, what's crack? Bah, bah, bah."
Let's go, baby! Popping caps out in the air.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hey, really quick, Hunter, you took a little trip this weekend to Philadelphia. Tell us about your experience over at the WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, so this past weekend, WWE was in Philadelphia for WrestleMania, the biggest WrestleMania of all time. And they have this thing beforehand from Thursday to Monday called WWE World, which is just like this giant, it was at the convention center. It was like this giant WWE display. It was like a gift shop, had all these different things of like championship belts and displays. There was a Slim Jim ring. I went there on Friday because the Pat McAfee show was going to be there. And that's kind of how I got into WWE because I was a big Pat McAfee guy, and I was just watching it because I know he did Friday night SmackDown commentary. So I just had it on just to hear what Pat had to say. And then the more I watched, the more I was like, okay, I could see why people like this. And I apparently tuned in at the right time because apparently it got good again. So I've been watching it for like a solid year and a half now, and I noticed that the McAfee show was going to be there. So I had to get there early. Traffic's bad in Philly, as always. 95 is just
a shithole.
Clutter. Oh yeah,
traffic in Philly is a shithole because Philly itself is a shithole. But
parking was also a pain in the ass because I couldn't figure out where to park because I looked beforehand. There's not going to be too many places to park in the streets because the closer you got to the convention center, the more cops that were there and doing all the security shit. So I was looking for a parking garage. Found a parking garage. Never been in one before, and I thought I was about to scrape the roof of my car with it because it was like height was like 6'2", 6'3". I was like, "Oh man, that's really close. That's too close to my. I'm gonna hit it." But I didn't hit it. I sat in line, so it opened. The gates opened at 9. I sat there for like an hour. It was okay. Then gates opened, got in, waited about another hour to get in. Just a whole lot of standing. Then I got in. It was a really
so you stood in line for an hour to stay in line for another hour?
Yeah, because they allowed people to get in, but the WWE World itself wasn't open till 10.
Yo, that's wild. That's like when I went. That's like when I went to Exotica last year, and I got in. I waited in line for a good 45 minutes, and I was like one of the first people in line. And then I waited like another 45 minutes after the doors had already opened to go meet Angela White. So,
yeah,
which is what, but it was worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Hunter, are you drinking piss?
No, I'm drinking green tea.
Oh,
Lipton diet mixed berry.
okay. Look a
Nah,
little murky. If you
I
know.
would have a bigger piss jar if I was doing that.
Good.
Oh,
Y'all drinking your water? Y'all drinking your H2O? All right, I was making sure y'all drinking your water, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is my
my water
fifth
intake
one
has
of the
been
day.
lacking this week. To be fair,
My fifth one. Come on, Matt. You talking about being in a gym, getting your body together. You gotta drink the waters.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. The waters is that's the key to life.
Oh yeah.
I ain't doubting that. That's for sure. Cheers.
But yeah. So I sat there because I got the set at about 10:08, and I positioned myself accordingly so where anytime the camera would cut to McAfee, I would be in the background. And I
You were on
sat
camera
there.
a lot, by the way.
Yes, that was exactly how I positioned myself. And I'm looking at the group chat. My friend's like, "Oh my god, I can't stop. I'm trying to pay attention to McAfee, but I can't stop looking at Hunter because he's just."
It's funny because another one of my friends who recently got into wrestling over the last year, she's a friend of mine from college. Her and her now fiance, because they literally got engaged over WrestleMania weekend, which is a hell of a time to do it. They were literally a person apart from you.
Yeah, I think
the
I was in
McAfee
the.
show.
I think I was in the second hour because first hour that I was there after the McAfee show went live, it was fine because I was next to a woman and I had I didn't feel anyone bumping me, getting elbowed or whatever. We were all, it was fine. Then after the first hour ends, she leaves. Someone else comes in, takes her spot, and then all of a sudden that second hour from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I kept feeling something touching my ass. I'm like, what? Every time I look around, dude's back up. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So I'm having to keep going into my pockets thinking I'm about to get pickpocketed because I got my car keys, got my wallet, got my phone. I'm not trying to get... So I just have my phone out like this over the railing for the last hour I was there. And then eventually I stayed long enough. I saw what I needed to see and I got out of there because I was like, I'm getting elbowed. I'm getting bumped. I'm like, why are you pushing me forward? I'm at the gate. This is as far as I can go. Why are you grabbing my ass? Why are you touching me there? I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, was the guy grabbing your ass calling you
I don't know
Poppy?
if he was... No, he wasn't calling me Poppy.
Call back from last week's episode.
No, I could feel... I felt something touching my ass, and I'm like, it's a bunch of grown men. Like, what are you doing? I'm not with that shit. But, like I said, I saw what I needed to see. Got to see McAfee and the boys. That was cool. And then I got to see, Triple H, him spit water again with McAfee. That was also cool.
Did he spit water on you? Because if you was directly behind him, it had to have hit you, right?
No, I wasn't directly behind. So, he spat it at the crowd that was, behind the table itself. I was to the side of it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the positioning of how it was. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's cool. You had a good time. You didn't.
Yeah, I got to see Triple H, got to see Cody Rhodes before he went on to win the title. I got to see Mommy, Rhea Ripley, which,
that was worth it. In
way different in person than watching on TV or watching through your phone or whatever.
She's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, I was.
So there is a wrestler by the name of Rhea Ripley. She's currently the world champion on Monday Night Raw. She is essentially every man's goth mommy dream. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley. Oh,
you gotta look that up. Just saying.
I get it. You know, dudes who like girls like this want to be dominated.
Yes.
hey, if you look at her finisher, I mean, I'm like, pin me next.
Yeah, I can.
Her finisher, because her thing is mommy's always on top, and her finisher, it's like she's on top and she's about to thrust into him, but she's just pinning him.
It's so funny.
What's up?
Speaking of thrusting, like I told you, I took my Pilates class yesterday. I have never humped the air that much in my entire life.
What the fuck kind of sentence is that?
I'm just being honest. And I don't know if we have anybody that watches the show that does Pilates, but I'm in a hip thrust motion, right? And we have to hold the hip bridge. And she's like, okay, 2 pumps, 1, 2. 2 pumps. 1,
2 bumps.
like literally, I'm swear, yo, I was like, I like literally had my hands
What the
locked
fuck?
behind my back, bridged up in the air, bop, 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 bop. Yeah, man, there was a ghost
Listen.
on me, getting crazy back shots, dog. I'm just saying.
Bro, listen. It makes sense why you said guys are taking those classes. I guess they're improving the stroke game. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
hey,
know.
if you ever watch the Key and Peele sketch, if you do more than 2 pumps, it's a penalty. So that's
I don't
why
know.
they had you do
Don't pull a Hingle McCringleberry. Let's come on.
Penn State's own Hingle McCringleberry.
Oh shit! All right, moving on. I want to bring up something to the table here, guys. I've been seeing some shit about this latest album by a particular artist that we all have said some disparaging things about, and surprisingly, a certain group of fans have not come after us for. And that's the Beyhive and Beyonce. I've been seeing some shit online that's just got to be some of the Beyonce fans have to be some of the most asinine people I've ever come and seen on the internet, dude. She put out a country album more or less recently, right? With the last week or two. And I saw a article by Page 6, and it has to be an opinion piece. This guy's name is Nicholas Houtman, who made this article. He said Beyonce revives a dying genre on instantly timeless country album Cowboy Carter, and it's a review of the album. The guy starts his article by saying country music has been on life support. Now, I know Hunter has a lot of opinions on this because he's a big country guy, but as someone that has worked in the country radio scene, I can assure you that's a bold-faced lie. That's just my 2 cents on the subject. Hunter, do you think Beyonce is saving country music, bringing it back from the depths of a
Country music was never dead to begin with. It did get a little stale in the early 2010s, like right around 2014, 2015, whenever everything started to have like a pop beat into it. Like, why? Because Florida Georgia Line blew up because they were using like pop beats, rap beats, and all that shit. So it did get a little bit annoying at times, but then once Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen came in, started bringing everything back down to earth with none of that rap crap shit or that pop shit. They just like guitars, banjos.
And then Morgan Wallen started beating people with chairs.
Okay,
throwing chairs around.
So I went on Twitter just to see who was popping on Beyonce's name. Good morning to Cowboy Carter, the best-selling album of the year in pure sales alone, and Beyonce, the greatest artist of all time. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, there's another article by Billboard. It just hit the Hot 100. It just hit number 1 on there within the last couple of days. So
this is my synopsis. I don't listen to country music, so I'm not even gonna get into it. Y'all know I don't fuck with Beyonce like that either. I don't really care about Beyonce. I don't think she's as great as everybody says she is. I think Beyonce has the most delusional, asinine, narcissistic fan base of all time.
It's up there with Taylor Swift fans. Taylor Swift fans are pretty bad
Taylor
too.
Swift is bad. They're bad. They're bad, man. I mean, just listen, man. If people that listen to a lot of country, that have listened to country music for the longest time, right? If they say the album is bad, if they ain't fucking with it, okay, cool. That's their opinion. Now, my question is this. For people that don't listen to country music, but you do listen to Beyonce, right? Is your opinion on the album just because you like Beyonce, or is it because it's actually a good album? And I feel like that's something a lot of people just don't understand. You're somebody who doesn't listen to country music. It's like, oh, it's the best country album I've ever heard. Nigga, that's the first country album you've ever heard. Like, let's be honest here. You don't listen to country like that, and that's okay. But don't be sitting on here telling, oh, yo, Beyonce dropped the greatest country album of all. I've seen that already. And I'm like, how could you say Beyonce dropped the greatest country album of all time and you don't listen to country music? That just shows how ignorant you are. Now, like I said, I heard the Texas Hold'em song. This ain't Texas, ain't no Hold'em. Like, I guess that's cool. I don't like country, so I don't get into it. But we all know her fan base, they OD. They OD. Sometimes just sit your black ass down. Shut the fuck up. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say, man. Because I know Beyhive.
You want to know what sucks? You were lagging that entire fucking time. You lagged the entire time. We don't know what the fuck you just said.
All I heard was they came back to OD.
It came back to their OD. That's it.
Hey.
Thank God I'll fix that in post.
Oh,
But
my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
They'll hear it on the audio. They'll hear it on the audio. I don't know if
That's
you can hear me now. I don't know what's going on.
We hear you. You're good. You're good.
I'm here, guys. I'm alive. It's my Wi-Fi is fucking shit. Racist.
Absolutely racist.
Yep.
Absolutely
Gotta be
racist. The audio will come out perfectly fine, everybody. I just want to preface that.
Yeah.
The audio will come out perfectly fine, but on video end, it's gonna.
I'm
You
sorry,
were
guys.
just
Yes,
doing your
yes. Listen, we can't afford the big studios that these NBA players have. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have that, but we work with what we've got. We work, like a guy with a small penis. You work with what you got, man. Yeah. Sometimes, hey, you might last 1 minute, you might last 3, but at the end of the day, you got to put that work in, and that's
Depends on how many Pilates classes you go to.
That is true. Depends on how many Pilates classes. But either way, back to the subject. I just think that Beyonce fans and their platforms are they're probably delusional. Yes. They're also probably some of the most hateful. And I don't know if you mentioned this because you were lagging and I couldn't hear it, but they're also probably some of the most hateful people I have ever seen online.
Hating ass bitches. You say anything about Beyonce. How could you say that about the queen? She's not a queen. Okay. She's not a queen. She's married to one of the ugliest niggas I've ever seen.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
Okay.
Didn't he cheat on her too?
Yeah.
You cheated on her how many times? First of all, how are you gonna cheat on Beyonce?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I'm not saying she's the most beautiful woman of all time, but like she's a very attractive woman. How are you gonna cheat on Beyonce and then get your ass beat by her sister?
I mean, what was he gonna do? Fight back?
I mean, you can't fight back, but still.
I mean, he's in cahoots with Diddy. So.
I mean, you could pull a mic and just toss her across the whole the elevator.
Now, hey, now we're not going to disparage one Panama Red here.
Hey, he said it, not me.
Shout out Panama.
Or it could be worse. He could have Ray Riced her. To be fair,
Yeah, could have went that route.
Wait.
Can
we be a little honest here?
Oh God, when you say honest, I'm a little worried.
Because I say a lot of the things that people don't want to say, but I know they're thinking it.
It's you saying it. I ain't catching no shit.
But I know people like, come on, bro. She spit on him. What was he supposed to do? What was he? What? Oh, it's okay. She spit on him.
Wait, with the Ray Rice situation?
Yes, she spit on him, and he reacted as any human being would if they got spat on. I'm not saying it was right, but I damn sure ain't saying what she did was right either. Because remember, they still got married.
Wait, so he's still married to her after all this time?
Yeah, they got. Remember, that was her fiance at the time. That was her fiance.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, they still got married. They reconciled their relationship and everything. But I mean, you spit on me, you better be lucky if I don't punch you in your shit, male or female. And I'm not condoning violence on men or women. But I mean, you spit on some, that to me is the ultimate disrespect. That is the ultimate disrespect. You spit on me? You spat on me. I've been spat on twice in my life. I've been spat on twice. I've been spat on twice. First time I got spat on was over a snowball fight. But we got on the bus right after. I ain't gonna lie. Back then I was a bitch. I didn't try to fight him. I should have.
It's crazy to spit on someone though.
No, it is fucked up to spit on somebody. And you know what? What's really fucked up? I have also done it.
You've spat on someone?
Yeah, I'm not proud of it. I ain't gonna lie.
Jesus. I mean,
I never said I was proud of it.
I don't ever have a reason to spit on someone yet.
I had a really listen. My reasoning for why I did it to somebody was so stupid. It was in middle school.
Wait, you spat on somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Fuck
did.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yes,
Fuck
I know. Listen, I feel fucking bad about it now. At the
Shit.
time, I didn't. At the time, I wasn't
Shit.
thinking right.
Canceled.
I feel bad about it now.
If
Cancel.
any of your bodily fluids going on to anybody else, you're dead, man. I'm just being honest. But okay.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I regret it. All right. There's many things in life I regret. That is one of them.
Well, let me see if I can finish my story before the
Yes.
Wi-Fi kicks out again. No, so what I was saying was I walk into the bathroom, this kid that I had beef with. I don't know why we had beef, because the very first time I ever had an encounter with this dude, I'm walking down the hallway and he just called me a nigger. Just called me a nigger.
He did
like,
what?
Straight, he was like, fucking nigger, and then walked into his homeroom. And then I confronted his homeroom teacher. I'm like, yo, you just gonna let him say? And everyone in the hallway just stared. They're like, yo. And I was like, yo, Dante, are you okay? Are you okay? Get the fuck off me. I'm fine. Get the fuck off me. So then, like, this is like a couple months later. I'm walking into the bathroom and he's washing his hands and he's walking out.
Do you say it again?
As he's about to walk out, I wish he would have, because it'd have been a different situation. But he about to walk out, turns around.
Oh, he coughed up too?
Oh, yo, when I tell you he went, my man's neck went all the way back like he was being possessed. He went.
That's fucked.
Now, you know what the worst part was? I just had to go tell a teacher, because if I would have fought him,
You
we
would
were
have
going
died.
to get the same exact punishment. And that's what's wrong with society, where you can get spit on and then I react and we both get the same suspension.
As a black man, no less, you got spat on.
Yeah. Matter of fact, was that February?
Oh shit!
Oh no, not on the
No,
month.
Black History Month. God damn it!
No.
No, I don't know. I don't want to assume, but if it was during,
Listen, you would have called on the powers of your ancestors, and you would have been like, "Lord, please."
Listen, man,
I
I
would've
don't
hit
understand
him.
the racist bullshit that we're still in. All right, like we're almost a quarter of the way through this century. We have cameras everywhere. People are getting caught in 4K left and right. I don't know why you white folks feel like you need to have your racist tendencies be broadcasted, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Especially in like a public school or even at like a Walmart. Like, do you not care about yourself? Do you not care about what people think about you? Like you do that shit once and then you get labeled a racist for your entire life. Like Otani's interpreter stole money out of his account, gambling with it, and now Otani has this reputation that he's a gambler now, when it's not even his own doing. I mean, I know it doesn't have
That's
anything
wild.
to do with
That
that
story, by the way.
but it's just like you gotta think about the bigger picture.
It's so funny that you mentioned that per se, because one thing I've always noticed, and it's like it's American white people.
Mm-hmm.
The number one thing that the most racist of all the racists love to say is, "This is my country. I'm an American. You can't do that in my country." And then when they say my country, my first thought is your country, right? Okay, well, if it's your country, then you know the history of your country, weren't you? Wouldn't you? So you would know that it was never your country to begin with, right? And even when it did become your country, 9 times out of 10, you're European. You're not even from England. So, like, even if you're like an English descent of, like, say, John Adams,
Mm-hmm.
okay, maybe you could say it's your country. Now, me, I could say this is my country. I'm African American. I am Native American. Half of my people started this country. The other half of my people built the country. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So for all these white racist dudes to be like, "This is my country. You're not going to say that in my country." It's like, my boy, you stole this land. Your ancestors stole this land. And I don't want to hear that shit. "Oh, you guys are always playing the victim. You guys are always playing the victim card. Slavery, the civil rights movement."
When did Patrick Mahomes come in here?
Come on, man. Motherfuckers will be like, Racism doesn't exist in
Come
this
on, man.
country anymore. Look,
That's not right,
you know
man.
what I love the best? This one I love the best. This one I love the best.
Oh God.
Racism doesn't exist in this country anymore. We just had a black president. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Why are people still talk about that?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Great. Thank God. Thank God. We are 1 for 47.
1 for 40.
If you go 1 for 47 in any sport, you're ass. Okay. So right now we at the bottom of the totem pole.
It's like that one quote where guy went 0 for 30. He's like, well, I was going to stop at 0 for 9, but the grind don't stop, or you shoot every shot you take, or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
I won eventually.
Why do we still have racism? Like, for what, man? For what? Don't you think it's weird that you just don't
weird.
like somebody because they're darker than you or lighter than you? Because, you know, I'll expose a black truth. There is an ongoing battle between light skins and dark skins.
Oh, well, I could have told you that.
That's always been a thing. You know, it's like Kendrickl Lamar said, I know niggas who argue about who's blacker. Like I know niggas that are like, I'm darker than you, nigga. You ain't a nigga like me. Like you a light skinned ass nigga. You from the suburbs, man. You a suburbs kid, nigga. You suburbs kid, nigga. And like whenever they go into that, it's like you can never speak proper. Man, you a suburban ass nigga, man. You a suburban kid. Like, my boy, like if you gonna roast me, at least speak with some proper vernacular, sir. No,
Jesus.
You know,
Bro almost said you would disturb me a kid, dog. Like, what are we talking Rihanna songs now?
Let's make sure we're sounding out our words. You know, let me not bring you back to phonics, sir. Come on.
Enunciation.
Enunciation.
Disturbing kid, dog.
Suburban. Yeah, you know, like the stuff your mom was drinking when she was pregnant with you. Suburban.
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Bitch ass niggas.
Oh man.
And
Hey, listen.
The amount of times, bro, I've encountered other black people that be like, yo, Dante, you ain't really black because you from Hillsboro. And
I mean,
nigga,
Mike and you bust balls about it all the time, but at the same time, it's just jokes. Like we know that it's jokes, but like some motherfuckers take it to another level that's uncomfortable.
Yes, I've been told that I'm not black enough because I'm not from the hood. Like, nigga, you mad I'm not struggling like you? What? That is the worst part about being black, is that niggas compare and compete with the struggle.
Oh, I wish Mike was here to talk about this right now.
We don't want to struggle. It's like, yo, nigga, nigga, you don't understand, nigga. You don't understand, nigga. I grew up on welfare, nigga, government cheese. I'm like, well, you know, I grew up in a 3-bedroom household. I had a bathroom to myself, and I had Kraft cheese. Yeah, it was delectable. And you know what the best part was? When I went to school, I didn't have to go through metal detectors. I just walked right in. Yeah.
Now that might have changed since you
sound like a white kid now.
Right, just walk right in, man. Yeah.
Breaking news: Dante is actually undercover white.
Oh no. More at 11.
Oh man. You know what this kind of reminds me of though? With this whole conversation, like the whole, I guess, like black people getting prosecuted for stuff and things of that nature. Just like this whole conversation made me think about the Johnathan Majors thing, right? Because I know we might have touched about this a couple months ago when it first broke, but now it's kind of come to a head again because he just avoided jail time because he avoided jail time, but he's on like he's on like a couple of years probation, and he's got to take like some sort of therapy session for an entire year.
Yeah, probably an anger management class.
Yeah, anger management or domestic abuse class, something like that. So I was doing some research about this earlier in the week because I was doing my newsreel for my old college station. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, it's kind of weird because like I don't know how we all feel about this because I know we've talked about abuse and shit in the past, but like,
well, he was the one getting abused, right?
That's what he says, but then you listen to the testimony of the other person involved. What was her name? Jabari, I think her last name was. And I don't know. Like she's clearly
White girl?
Yeah, the white girl. She's clearly against this ruling. I read the victim impact statement.
Don't trust her.
Don't trust her. Why don't you trust her? I'm just curious. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but I am curious to know why you.
You know, this is why on certain instances I agree with Dr. Umar. This is why, and it's not even on no funny shit. It's really not on no funny shit.
Do not bring
the
your
reason
white wife.
The reason why a lot of black people are not particularly happy with interracial couples, and it's when it's a black woman and a white dude, a lot of times it's praised. I'm not gonna lie to you because they're like, "Ooh, girl, you got yourself a white man. He gonna treat you real good. He ain't gonna do you dirty. You got yourself a white man. I wish I could give myself a white man."
The way you do that is so fucking funny.
Then you got, well, when it comes to black men dating white women, it's a safety thing and it's a cultural thing. The reason why is we know at any given moment, if that girl cries wolf, they're going to believe her. They're going to believe her. And I think this is the same exact situation. Here's why. When you look at the Johnathan Majors situation, right? The trial and all that kind of stuff, all the things that came out, right? It was said that she was abusing him. That was what he was saying on his behalf, right? There was the evidence. They showed the scratches on his face and all that kind of stuff, right?
That was from the car incident, I believe.
Right, yes. But the glaring evidence to me is when that incident happened and he jumped out the car and was running away from her for blocks. And there is street camera footage of this dude sprinting down the streets of New York and this white girl keeping up. I ain't gonna lie, she was keeping up, chasing behind him. And it's funny because I was just talking to some people about this at the gym today. Literally had the same conversation. And I said this. Now imagine if that video was reversed and it was a white girl sprinting down the street in the middle of New York in the middle of the night and a big old 6'6" nigga is sprinting behind her. That dude would be put under the jail. They treat him like OJ. And it's not, like I said, it's not to be funny. That's the reality of the situation. If the moment that white girl decides to scream rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment, they're going to believe her because in the eyes of American society, the white girl is precious. She must be protected. She is innocent. She does no wrong. She is America's princess, but a black man is America's public enemy number one. And I already know what's going to happen in the TikTok comments when you post this or whatever. Oh, he's race baiting. No, I'm not race baiting. I'm telling you exactly what it is. You just choose to ignore the elephant in the room. I won't. Because I know how this situation turns out if it was the other way around. You see them treating Johnny Depp the same way they treating Johnathan Majors right now? Hell no. And that dude was actually abusing Amber Heard. They might have been abusing each other, but he did hit her. He did verbally and physically abuse her.
But the overwhelming support was in favor of Johnny Depp and not Amber Heard, from my recollection of that trial.
My dog got stung by a bee.
My dog got stung by a bee. It was memed to death. Everything. I do see where you're coming from, though. Like, I don't have necessarily any opinion, to be honest. I just thought it'd be something interesting to talk about because I did do some research about it this week. Let me see if I can pull up my newsreel. If there's anything else you want to add, Hunter, to the conversation, but I'm going to see if I can look what I reported on.
Well, like I said, I didn't really know too much about it other than like months before, whenever this video came out of him getting chased by the woman. I didn't know if he was going to be in the wrong or if she was going to be in the wrong or if anyone was going to be in the wrong for that matter. But like you mentioned, double standards, because if I guess, what, is he seen as a coward because he's running away from a woman that was hitting him or whatever, or abusing him in the car? And then if it's the other way around, then, the guy's a thug. The guy's this, he's that,
I'm looking back at what I read too, and or what I wrote, I should say. And the other thing is, like, within minutes, like when he was found guilty back in December, I think it was, like within minutes, like he was dropped virtually everywhere.
Yeah.
right? I don't even know if he served any actual jail time. That's the
I
other
don't
thing.
think he
I don't
did.
think he ever served any actual time in a prison. But I think, I know that within minutes of him being guilty, like everybody dropped him, Marvel dropped him, everything. So it's like, it's a really, I don't want to say I feel bad for him, but there are also some times where I think he probably should have shut the fuck up. Like, for instance, that one, what was it, Good Morning America interview with him saying, "Oh, I want my woman to be like Coretta Scott King," and all shit
Yo,
like that.
can niggas stop doing interviews on Good Morning America? It looks bad. It looks bad. Did we learn nothing from R. Kelly?
They see Robert Roberts. They go,
Don't
yes.
kill me with this
Yes.
shit, man.
I'm fighting for my life.
That wasn't even on Good Morning
fuck you
America.
with this
That was with what's her name on NBC.
Same premise.
Guys, this is how I know niggas ain't smart. If you want to open up and you want to talk about shit, go on Club Shay Shay. You will make millions and everybody will hear what you have to say. Think about it, man. Think about it. Yo, I gotta give props. I gotta give props to Shannon Sharp. That man started out in media like 10 years ago. And he has slowly but surely worked his way up to be, in my opinion, one of the top 5 best interviewers in the entire world.
He's a powerhouse.
I saw what was it a few weeks ago.
Amazing.
He had I don't know who the guest he had on, but he was just doing an impression of Shannon Sharp the whole time.
Oh, Godfrey? And he had
Yes,
Godfrey.
yes, that was good. My
Yeah.
favorite one was, skip. My grandmother always said, you know how to get Sesame Street. I'm gonna show you that's the way.
Hunter's gonna get called racist for even impersonating a black man on the podcast now.
Yo, Godfrey has the best fucking Steve Harvey impression ever. That shit is so funny. You gotta hear it. It is on point to a T. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. Hilarious.
My grandmother always said, you don't know the way Sesame Street. I'm gonna show you that's the way.
You do a really good Shannon Sharp. It's actually really scary how well you do Shannon Sharp, Hunter.
I like doing R-Truth too.
Oh God.
R-Truth is just, my bad. I'm the rated 24/7, 48/11, 7/11. No, whatever he did with that when he had that 24/7 channel. But you get the point.
All right, Matt, you brought this up to me the other day. All right, let's talk about the beef. Biggest beef in the rap game going on, which I think is a fake beef.
You think so? Well, you know what? I feel like I agree with you. I'll say my piece when we get to it. But go ahead. I'll let you do this one.
Let me break the beef down first of all. If anybody has listened to Kendrick Lamar over the past 15 years, almost damn near 15 at this point, right? Kendrick before has gone off and said he is the best rapper in the game and actually name dropped. He name dropped Drake. He name dropped J. Cole. I think he name dropped Big Sean too at the time. I forgot what the name of the song was too, but this was years ago. I'd say probably back 2014, 2015, probably at some point. And no one responded. But Kendrick has come out and said, he's like, yo, it's no actual beef. Like, what I think is that social media and everybody watching it and listening is like, oh, yo, they going at it, bro. Like Drake, J. Cole, Drake and J. Cole against Kendrick and Future and Metro Boomin and all that kind of stuff, right? There's a lot of different beefs within the beef that ain't beef. Here's what I mean by that. Drake and Future are not cool anymore. They not friends over a bitch, which is crazy because they both super sluts. So I don't even understand that one. But obviously Metro ain't gonna fuck with Drake because Metro fuck with Future. And then you got Kendrick over there hopping on a song and he's like, motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me. Okay, like that's fine, but this is not the first time Kendrick has said stuff about J. Cole in his songs, and it's not the first time J. Cole has said anything about Kendrick. Now, the issue that I have with this whole thing is like my nigga J. Cole. I love Jermaine. Jermaine is lyrically, I don't know who's touching him. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That dude is a poet. I don't think people realize that starting in like 2019, he has been on the greatest feature run ever. Like every time he drops a feature on a song, it's an instant hit. It's an instant hit. You can just go down the line. But the thing I don't like is that earlier this week, he apologized.
See, can I step in? Because that's the part that has me thinking it's a fake beef now that you say that. Because it's like, why would you apologize?
Apologizing for?
Why would you apologize? Like, I saw something from Suge Knight. Suge Knight said something about the apology. I'm just like, man, if you apologize on a beef, you're just a bitch or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. And I'm just like, I agree. Because think about it like this. We were talking about diss tracks in the group chat earlier before we hopped on the show, right? And you mentioned No Vaseline, which is one of the greatest of all time. I mentioned Hit 'Em Up and Dollars and Cents, and which are two of my favorites in addition to No Vaseline. And those motherfuckers weren't apologizing for shit, at least not right away.
Oh, they were almost came to blows. Like niggas died over those beefs.
Yeah, for real. And
like East Coast versus West Coast was real. That went that was a beef that went further than music. That was a coastal beef. Like, and I've heard about this, and obviously I wasn't around in the 90s, but you know, at that time, if you were a bad boy artist and you went to the West, specifically if you went to LA, nigga, you had to watch out. Because it wasn't just rappers that wanted you. It was Bloods. It was Crips. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you got Crenshaw Mafia part of a East Coast, West Coast beef, that's some real shit. And don't forget, Diddy wasn't walking around with security guards. He was walking around with gangsters as his security guards. He had actual gang members as his security in the 90s. That's not normal. That's not normal. That is not normal. And that kind of plays into what's been going on with Diddy.
Did he take them to the parties?
Did he take them to the parties too? Shit.
It's circulating, man. It's circulating.
It all comes full circle.
Pertaining to the Diddy shit.
Jinx on that one.
Shit, everyone's talking about Diddy and he's in his sex parties, but and everyone's like, oh, this is crazy. I don't know how you can't believe it when most of the biggest music moguls have parties like that and do crazy shit. Like the only difference is that a lot of it, there's no recordings of it. There's no real hardcore evidence besides the stories people tell. I have heard stories about sex parties at Quincy Jones's crib. Niggas forget Quincy Jones is the greatest producer of all time. The greatest producer of all time. That nigga has 36 Grammys. He's the greatest producer of all time. He was having wild parties at his, and you got to think about it. That's at a time when the cocaine was pure, my nigga. You know, a little
cocaina.
Let's go record this album. Like, come on, man. Like, let's be honest. You think that these artists and these big music moguls back in the 60s and the 70s and 80s weren't doing this kind of stuff? No, these are just Hollywood's best kept secrets. And they're not secrets. Niggas know. People just don't talk about it. But that shit been going on. Like, I don't know how all these artists now are. I can't believe Diddy was doing. You're not stupid. I know there's somebody who has told you, hey, yo, watch out when you go to those Diddy parties. Like Denzel told Brandon T. Jackson. Brandon T. Jackson was on a podcast like a year ago, and he said, you know, he's talking to Denzel and said, hey, make sure you leave an hour early. But he said, make sure you leave before the devil gets there. Who's the devil? I'm sure Denzel's been to some Diddy parties. Sure.
How would he know? That's the other thing.
Sure he has. You hear stories. You see people's actions. And I've said this numerous times. People like that, people like R. Kelly, people like, like a Jeffrey Epstein, they get away with things like that for so long because they have a fan base that enables them to do so. Right. So R. Kelly was putting out amazing music for 25 plus years. So people were willing to look the other way. Then what happened? His career started going a downward tumble. When he dropped Black Panties, that album didn't do so well. Then things started to crumble. But what I hate is that you got a bunch of celebrities coming. I can't believe R. Kelly was doing this. But the thing that I hate most is that artists that have made music with R. Kelly, if you've made a song with R. Kelly after the year 2002, and now you want to come out and say, yeah, I really can't believe I let him feature on my song. That's a song. Yeah, I'll never be performing that ever again. Any song I ever did with R. Kelly, I'll never do again. So you have a problem with it now because everything he's done has been exposed. But when you were recording it, you gonna act like you didn't know he was pissing on little girls back then? That was known knowledge. That video was out there. It was getting bootlegged worse than Get Rich Die Trying in 2003, my nigga. Like, you have a sex tape that was getting bootlegged and shared and sold in the hood, and it was being talked about on TV. He flat out had an interview, I think it was in 2005, 2006 with Tory, and it was like, do you like teenage girls? And his response was, what? When you say teenage. How?
So I want to reel back a little bit because we're getting a little bit too off topic, but I wanted to bring this up about the rap beef.
Shout out R. Kelly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
I mean, I guess we're still fucking R. Kelly even in 2024.
He's free.
Huh?
He's free. Don't forget, he's free. They let him out for Diddy's trial. He's free. He's walking the streets, people.
Wait, no, they did not let him out.
Hide your kids. Hide
Oh,
your
shit.
kids. Hide your kids. He's coming. He's coming. Or pissing.
Stay away from closets. He'll be pissing
Stay
in
away
them
from the
too.
closets. Yeah, he'll be trapped in the closet. Anyhow, back to the rap beefs though, because do you think because it feels like so, what's fabricated, this beef with J. Cole and Kendrick? Is it just fans wanting to have a beef again like they had in the old days? Because there were a lot of beefs in even in the mid 2000s there were beefs.
Yeah.
Like Eminem, and I forgot the other guy's name.
The most recent one, yeah, Eminem and MGK. That was back in 2018, late.
I'm not even talking about MGK. I mean, I was talking about the one that got proof killed.
Oh, I don't know about that. All I know is that Eminem and MGK had a beef, and Eminem smoked him.
What I think is that people just like controversy. And when it comes to rap, there's just always controversy, and people like to insinuate that controversy and violence. So, and a lot of modern day rap is rooted in violence and controversy. I mean, look at all the great rap artists that have died due to gun violence or anything of the sort in the past 5 years. Nipsey, dead. X, dead. Pop, dead. P&B Rock, dead. You know what I'm saying? Takeoff.
Takeoff. When I say Quavo, I was thinking of Takeoff,
man.
Right.
And then that stuff happens so often that becomes part of the culture. So when there's an opportunity for more controversy, people are like, okay, let's do it. Because the mindset of the fan now is, all right, let's get more controversy so these dudes can drop better bars and they could drop harder music. And I mean, that I don't really think that should be what drives rap music. I think that's what's ruining rap music, is that why do we have to have a beef in order to have good music? Now, if rappers want to go at each other, you know what I'm saying, bar for bar, cool, let it happen. But to try to create a fake beef or whatever just to heighten things up, like, I just think it's gonna be a cause for another East-West. And that's not necessary. We don't need that kind of beef anymore.
They can't give in to what the people are. It's like the people want something to happen.
Yeah.
They can't give in to that.
Yeah, if it was a real beef and dudes aren't getting killed, or there's no real violence, it's nothing but bickering over the internet. That's all it is. Have you seen Drake respond to any of this crap? No, because he knows. What they gonna do? Like, he didn't really attack Drake at all. The real lyrical beef, I guess I would say, is between J. Cole and Kendrick, and that's been going on for years. They have dropped subliminals in songs for the longest time.
The argument has been like that J. Cole and Kendrick have kind of been neck and neck for a really long time. I mean, they've been putting out some of the best albums of the modern era of hip hop. They're arguably, outside of maybe Drake, in that top three.
No, it's not arguable. It's them. It's them. Because if either three of those guys drops an album, the world will stop and we will listen. The world will stop and we will listen. Now, the world don't stop for an album like they do Drake because Drake has the female fan base and Drake has streaming on locked. It's actually funny we talk about this because I was watching this documentary yesterday called The 2010s. It's like a CNN documentary, and they talk about the culture through every single decade. And they talk about Drake and his power in the 2010s and how, Drake basically was able to manipulate streaming, because what I found out is that when with streaming, a song has to be played for a certain amount of seconds for you to make any money off of it, right? So what they're saying is that Drake was smart enough to he made songs with really quick intros that get to the chorus quicker, so people are more engaged to want to listen to that song, and then they keep playing it, keep playing it, keep playing it, and then when you play into the fact that because he's such a big artist, if you drop a song that might appeal to a certain demographic, it's going to blow up on TikTok. And if you think these artists don't know their songs are going to blow up on TikTok, you're freaking crazy. Think about it. In 2020, when he dropped Tootsie Slide, that song was ass, but he was smart. He linked up with a popular TikTok dancer, and he basically named the song after Tootsie. And Tootsie went out there, did the dance before the song even dropped, and it was like, oh shit, right foot up, left foot slide. Like it's catchy. People want to hear it. That song blows up, and then it keeps the streams up, and then he keeps them. I'm not gonna say it keeps them relevant. Drake's always gonna be relevant, but some people would say that he has been able to take full control of streaming. Him and Taylor Swift run streaming. They run it.
I hate
They
that it's
run it.
them though. I
You
hate
can
that
hate
it's
all
them.
you want. You can hate all you want, but the
I
thing is,
know.
people always say, "Oh, Drake is only a great artist or big." People want to listen because of streaming. Well, guess what? People aren't buying CDs anymore, so people must fuck with him enough to when the music drops, they want to listen to it and they share it. And his album always goes number one. Always debuts at number one. The only album that never debuted at number one was honestly Nevermind, and that album still did numbers in its first week. The only reason why is because it came out with no promo. There aren't many people that could drop an album with no promo and have it blow up. Think about it. J. Cole dropped Might Delete Later earlier this week with no promo. We didn't know that shit was dropping. And I mean,
That's the one with the diss track, right?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
it was big. It was big, but Drake did the same thing 2 summers ago, and it was like, wait, Drake's dropping an album in an hour? Oh shit, I gotta listen. Now, I gotta post on Twitter. Now we got an Instagram hashtag. Now we got a Twitter hashtag. Now it's on Facebook. Now it's on Snapchat. Now it's on TikTok. And now everybody's intrigued. So when 11:59 hits and you on Spotify and you on Apple Music and you ready to hit download, everybody's tuned in. So you got 250,000 people tuned into this one
At least.
album. At least. That's
a million.
power. That's power. And that is why, in my opinion, in this generation, he is the greatest. He's the king. He's the king.
I mean, he only needs what? He only needs one more number one
more
hit
number one
to
album.
tie or pass Michael at number one
Yeah.
album. Excuse me.
No, he's passed Michael already. He passed Michael.
He passed
already.
Michael. Okay.
Passed Michael already. He did that already. So that's the other thing. Like he is beating records. He's passing up records, and everyone's saying, "Oh, Beyonce's the greatest artist of all time." Drake in the past 5 years has surpassed records that were set in the 60s and the 70s and 80s that people never thought could be touched. There are Madonna records people thought can never be touched. He's broken them. There are Elvis records people never thought could be touched. He's broken them. Michael Jackson records, Beatles records. The Beatles record is the one that I really thought was amazing because the Beatles are so intertwined in the culture of everything. I'm not a Beatles fan. I don't see the hype. But I bet if I was around in the 60s and a bunch of young, good-looking white dudes came over from Great Britain and took over, I'd probably be just as interested. I would. So, I understand the significance of these artists, but all of these records he's broken. And you could say streaming, or whatever, but don't forget Drake started out before streaming.
I mean,
So
yeah.
when he dropped
Drake was out and people were still buying CDs.
yes.
Granted, it was still on a decline, but still.
Yeah, it was, but you know what I'm saying? When you got nothing was the same. That dropped out on CD. Take Care. That dropped out on CD. Don't forget, Take Care went #1 before streaming and also won him Rap Album of the Year. So streaming is important, and people got to stop hating on streaming, because you can't say that, oh, these people are only doing numbers because of streaming. You could say that. I definitely think the analytics of streaming are a little, I think we need to figure that
They're
out.
wonky.
We definitely got to figure that out. But at the same time, what's the difference between buying a whole album and you don't know if that person really listened to it? Between with streaming, you could tell, okay, this song has been played over 1 million times, 1 billion times, right? 500 million times. You don't know what that is when you buy a CD. I know a bunch of people that buy CDs and just throw them in their Rolodex in the car. For all you young kids, yes, a Rolodex. I bet you don't even know what the fuck that is. You know, you put that in.
I'm still an old head. I'm still an old head that still prefers to buy CDs. Honestly, like I'll stream. Like I don't have a problem like listening to stuff on Spotify, but I still prefer CDs. I like listening to the albums. I like the. No, don't listen.
In cars anymore? Is that a thing? Do
No, actually, no.
anymore?
You know what's funny? So when I in 2019, when I got my second car, it was a Mazda CX-5, and I actually noticed that there wasn't a CD player. And I asked the guy when I was at the dealership, I said, "How come there's no CD player? My other car had a CD player," and which was a 2016 CX-5. And he said they stopped making cars with CD players. And I was a little devastated by that. I'm not going to lie. So around 2018, somewhere between 2016 and 2019 was when they stopped producing cars, or at least the brand I buy, which is Mazda, they stopped making cars with CD players.
That's interesting, man, because
I'm actually, it's devastating though, to be honest.
It really is, because,
I really love CDs.
Yeah, we the three of us can at least say that we have been through the full technological advancement of music, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I remember when I used to listen to music on cassette tapes. I still have some. I still have some that I listen to, right? Or you get, like, when a movie would be in the movies and then you were waiting for it to drop on Blu-ray. Like, remember when Blu-ray came out?
Blu-ray was fucking.
Well, we never had Blu-ray.
I didn't have a Blu-ray DVD player, so I can never play them. But that was like the huge thing, and DVDs went from being $10 to like 15 to 18 because it was Blu-ray, and then you got like the double feature, John. And now, if you look at it, when movies come out, it's like now movies are going straight to streaming, or they'll be in the movie theater for like 2-3 weeks, and then they're right on streaming services. That's why I don't go to the movies anymore. Like when Oppenheimer came, I was like, oh, you got to go see Oppenheimer. Now I'm sure going to see Oppenheimer in theaters is way better just because of the visuals and just the pixelations and everything. And, the cinematography of that is something you definitely want to see in theaters. That I get. But I was like, why am I going to spend $18 on a movie theater ticket when I can wait for it to come out on Peacock? I still haven't watched it, but I have Peacock and I have HBO Max. So I can watch the Barbie movie whenever I want, and I can watch Oppenheimer whenever I want. And I might watch it, I might not.
Barbenheimer experience.
Exactly. I can go back and forth, man. But like, that's the thing. Like, and music is crazy because now I have Apple Music. When I first started listening to music, I had an iPod Nano. And that was back when you had to plug your iPod into the computer. Then you had to go on iTunes. You had to buy the music. Then you had to download the music. Then you had to download the music into your iPod. Like downloading one song used to be like a 5 to 10 minute process.
The good old days.
Oh yeah.
Like back when you used to burn CDs. You know what I'm saying? I used to have CDs that I used to burn, and I had like 10, 15 different songs on it. Like, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. Those are the good old days. Those were the good old days.
Can I also make another, what's it called? A confession? I still prefer the way of listening on an iPod. I do. I'm an old head. I can't help it. Like, I genuinely enjoy it more because I can download stuff that isn't on Spotify or Apple Music. I can, let's put it this way. I can download it illegally from YouTube to MP3 and put it on my iTunes and have no problem whatsoever.
Well, you just confessing in 4K, dog.
Listen. Everybody's done it.
Get him. This man right here. Get him.
He's stealing money from all the big music corporations.
Fuck the big music corporations. I'll still go to their shows.
Did you hear LimeWire came back out or is coming back?
No shit.
Yeah.
LimeWire fucked up my old house computer, so
LimeWire will, turn your crib into a natural disaster.
the good old days. Oh, it's
Shoot.
nostalgic. This is nostalgic.
The
Oh
good old
man.
days. The good old days, silly bands. I love boobies bracelets,
Oh, those are the best.
moon shoes, moon sand,
Heelys.
Orbeez, Echo Unlimited footwear.
I think this is a good spot to wrap up though the show, because I think it's we're getting a little nostalgic now. We're taking it back to a time that was a much simpler time, so to speak. So thank you guys for checking out episode 77 of the Bromigos podcast. We greatly appreciate the fact that you're here. You can follow us on your favorite podcasting platforms like Apple, like Spotify. You can stream us on there. We don't care. But either way, follow us on Twitter too, at Bromigos Pod. Instagram and Facebook, The Bromigos Pod. TikTok, The Bromigos Podcast. I'll talk about the YouTube, man, because the YouTube's been lacking a little bit. That's our fault. Mike's coming back, though. I don't want to say too much, but good old Panama Reds returning back to the show, hopefully in the near future.
We're going to have some big news coming soon. Some big news.
Big news, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, but right now on YouTube, you can also check out the audio version of the podcast. We would greatly appreciate if you support it that way. But video will be coming back soon. I'll still post some clips up there on the shorts when I can. But for now, it's just going to be audio for the YouTube section. Although I'd also want to shout out Full Swap Radio for syndicating episodes of our show Sundays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We greatly appreciate them for supporting the show for as long as we've been a part of their platform, which has been a very long time now. So thanks to Cole and all the team over there.
Like a year and a half, right?
Oh man,
it's about a year and a half.
It's been maybe a little more than that, to be honest.
It's been a little more than that. Yeah, we signed that contract in June. It was like July, August. Yeah, wow, yeah, that's been a year.
Hey, listen, wow. We appreciate them, and we want them to know that. So, guys, if you got nothing else,
I want to say shout out to the haters, all you bitch ass niggas that be on TikTok commenting. I just want to know, you're just a bitch. You're just a bitch. Like, your mother doesn't love you. You were probably adopted. I know you don't get hoes. So you'd rather just comment on our TikToks, and that's fine. Keep listening, keep watching, keep drawing up the views, keep drawing up the likes.
Thanks for the help on the algorithm. The algorithm helps tremendously when you guys do that. Trust me.
Yeah, so keep trolling, keep being a bitch. That's fine, because if that's how you want to live your life, trolling on the internet, so be it. All right, brothers.
Shout out Caitlin Clark. There were like 18 million people watching the women's championship game on this past Sunday.
Oh, hell no. Nah. We gonna celebrate Caitlin Clark in South Carolina won. I'm not going to stand for the South Carolina Dawn Staley slander.
No. I'm with that. I'm with South Carolina on that one. Congratulations to them, and congrats to the Huskies, man.
Shout out UConn,
baby. Shout out UConn.
And before I go, I'm gonna say this: UConn, by far, in my opinion, that was the best basketball team I have ever seen in college with my own eyes. And I mean that. And I watched 2015 Duke. I watched 2015 Wisconsin. 2015 Kentucky. And that's just 3 teams in the same year. What UConn did to Purdue.
Beat that ass is what they did, man. Fuck Purdue and fuck everybody in the Big Ten except Rutgers.
I've never seen a team break a press like that. Even though Zach Edey scored 40, that was the hardest 40 points he ever had to score. I mean, and before I go, I'll say this. The guards in Purdue are trash. They suck. Purdue got exposed for the team that everybody knew they have been for the past 3 years. They lost in the first round. Okay. Everything is with Edey. If you could shut down everybody else and let Edey do his thing, you could beat Purdue. Honestly, you can. Shout out UConn. Shout out Dan Hurley, Jersey legend. Glad you staying at UConn. Shout out St. Anne. Shout out Jersey City. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. We out. Peace.
You've been listening to the Bromigos podcast.
fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Avita! That's okay! She'll be back. Another cradle. She'll love me tomorrow.